Good morning. So today you guys are going to be using this program, the virtual algebra tiles, again. And instead of combining like terms, you're going to be solving equations. So you're going to follow the steps on the top of the screen, starting by modeling the equation. And it says x plus 2 equals 5. So I have a positive x. I'm going to pick up this tile, move it over here. I have a positive 2, so I'm going to use 2 yellow tiles for positive. And then it says equals 5, so I am going to put 5 yellow tiles over here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So when I have correctly modeled the expression, we'll get a little check mark up here, and I can go to the next step. If I don't see the check mark, it means I've made a mistake, and I need to look at how I modeled the equation again, and I cannot go forward with step 2 until I get a check mark on step 1. Okay, step 2 says add or subtract the number with x to both sides. So what I want to do at this point is what I taught you the other day, right? We want to get x by itself. So in order to get x by itself, we need to create some zero pairs with these 2 positive 1s. So in order to get rid of those positive 1s, I'm going to add 2 negative 1s, right? So that eventually I can create a zero pair with each of these and they'll go away. But before I do this on the program, I must do on one side what I do to the other. Remember, that was one of the rules you guys decided on. If I do something on one side of the wall, right? The Great Wall of China, as Miss Nolan calls it, or some of you want to call it the border. But if I do something on one side of the border, I must do the same thing on the other. Once I've done that, I then will get a check mark on step 2. So you won't be able to create zero pairs until you've added what you did on one side, the same thing to the other, right? You have to have the check mark. And then lastly, they'll allow you to create zero pairs and get rid of them, right? So here's a zero pair. I just put one tile on top of the other and they disappear. One tile on top of the other, it disappears. I also have some zero pairs on this side, so let's get rid of these and this one here. Okay, and when I am done, I have x equals a positive 3, x equals 3, and if I'm correct, it will tell me correct, and I will get a check mark on my final step. If I don't get all 3 check marks, I've done something wrong, and I need to go back and figure out what it is. Once that has happened and I have all 3 check marks and the computer tells me I'm correct, I will then go to new to get a new problem, and I'm going to try that one. So here we go, same thing, model the expression x plus 3 equals negative 5. So here's an x tile plus 3, and then I have a negative 5 on the other side, so I need to move a bunch of negative tiles, right? I'm not using positive tiles. Oop. Okay, I made a mistake here. This is a positive tile. I don't want that. So I'm going to put that in the trash. No problem. Okay. I want 5. I'm just going to put one over here just to show you. If you make a mistake, right, if I think I've modeled the equation correctly, and I don't see a check mark here, that means I made a mistake. So I need to look again. Okay, I have an x, positive x. I have positive 3 tiles. Oh, I put this negative tile on the wrong side. Now I have negative 5 on this side and a positive 3 on that side, right? I'm all good. I got my check mark. So I can go to step 2, right? I want to isolate this x, meaning I want the x to be all by itself. So I really have to think about how can I get rid of these positive 3s, right? I need to create some zero pairs. So if I want to zero pair those positive 1s, I need 3 negative ones, right? Because each of these is going to make a zero pair, and then my x will be by itself. But once again, notice that we have not gotten to step 2 because we have to do on one side what we do on the other. So I added 3 negatives, so I'm going to add 3 negatives to the other side. Remember, whatever I do on one side, I do the exact same thing on the other. I don't change the color of the tiles. I don't change the number of tiles. I added negative 3 to this side. I'm going to add negative 3 to that side. And I got my next check mark, and my last step is to simplify. So I'm going to create my zero pairs. I'm going to look on this side, no zero pairs, so my answer is x equals negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Negative 8. Yep, x equals negative 8, and I am correct. And I can do my next problem by clicking new. So remember today, you need to complete 20 of these problems on your own, and then you can move on to the next skill. Good luck.